So this is Euro Yen analysis for Friday, 27th of October. Now let's look what happened on the 26th. So on the 26th, we can see just here that on the 26th we had a fundamental news catalyst of the ECB's interest rate decisions and also a subsequent press conference by Mario Draghi. Now, what was announced at the press conference is that the stimulative QE was reduced from January. It's going to be reduced from 60 billion to 30 billion, but the most deciding factor, I'd probably say, in the selling of the euro against other currency pairs was the fact that it was announced that QE will be extended until September 2018, and also there's a willingness by the ECB to act if there's further weakness within the eurozone. The willingness to act if there's further weakness within the eurozone and also the extension of QE was interpreted as being bearish for the market, so we did see some selling of the euro. Now, overall, I was expecting a continuation to the upside of the euro against the yen. This fundamental factor did come into play and did see markets turn around. So over the medium to long term, we're expecting markets to interpret, if current trends persist, to interpret the euro as being bearish. So it might be a case of selling rallies of the, hypothetically speaking, selling the euro on rallies as we are expecting further weakness in the euro. So we didn't get quite up to this 35.60 region. As we did go travel so far from this 134, I suppose we can't interpret as 134 holding, especially as we did have a retest of this 134 and we did seem poised for continuation. Instead, what we did do is we did went into the highs of the previous day in around this 25th, and we did see some selling momentum come into the market. Pretty strong MC candle there at 9 a.m. On the 26th, closing near the lows, and pretty much that was the theme for the day. The strong candle at 9 a.m. which closed near its lows. Since then we did see pretty strong momentum to the downside. Didn't see much of a reaction around this 200 period moving average. Saw a slight reaction around the 400 period moving average, but we're down to this minor level in around this 87, 80, 32, 83, where we do have this weekly pivot, and we do seem prices have stalled a little bit at present, so we might be just in a dead cat bounce phase. So what could happen potentially from here is prices could find a bit of a base for it running around this 32.83 before going on to possibly test this 200 period average or 33.45 before further selling all the way down to 132. Overall, due to the fundamental news catalyst being bearish for the euro, we're looking for potential, looking to see further selling of the euro, even though there's been a election in Japan over the weekend which handed Shinzo Abe a greater mandate, and to an extent I suppose market participants may think he might pressure the Japanese central bank to be further accommodative in its monetary policy stance. But yeah, overall the most driving factor at present seems to be the euro, so we do expect to see further selling to the downside of the euro, but we might see a bit of a bounce before we see further selling. Our downside target again will be in around this 132 and 131.70s. 131.70 is a very important level for us on the weekly chart. I will show you that when we do the analysis on the weekly chart. But overall, we're expecting the euro to move down. So if we do find support, we might see further selling around this 200 period moving average and this weekly pivot around 33.45 for price to go all the way down to this 31.70, and I could imagine 32 and 31.70 is definitely possible here on the 27th, beyond which we're looking at around this 130.60 region and all the way back down to this 129.45. 129.45 is definitely a medium to long term target for the euro against the yen if current trends persist and there aren't any fundamental catalysts that are noteworthy of in the yen or potential news releases that suggest strength in the eurozone for the euro. So let's just have a look at the weekly chart. Let's see where we are. So on the weekly chart, trend's pretty clear. It was to the upside. So on the weekly chart, it's not quite an engulfing candle at present. We do have 1 day left for the week, but we've seen prices did come up, make slightly higher highs in off this 134. We did go as high as 134, let's just say 134.50 before we did see some strong selling momentum come into the market. So we do look poised to head down and possibly retest these lows of the previous week and in around this 31 30.70 region. Overall, the trend on the euro against the yen is pretty clear. It is to the upside, but due to the fundamental catalyst, we can definitely expect prices to revisit where we had a bit of a breakout here, and where we do have these 200 period moving average currently sitting along with the 20 period moving average. So if we do just get the pen out and just see where we are. So the we've got a 20 period moving average sitting around 30.20 region, and we've got the 200 period moving average sitting around this 30.24 region. So in around this 30.20 to 30.30, we do have a 130.30. We do seem to have a confluence of both the 20 and the 200 period average. We may find get a bit of a bounce in around that region before we see further selling momentum come into the market. So if we do have a look at the daily time frame, I suppose it's going to be I suppose you could say it's a false breakout really. So on this daily time frame, I was having a look at this bit of a range that was forming here in around 134 and 131.70. We do see prices consolidate there for a long time before we do see a strong momentum candle out of there for another retest of the region. So we did break and close above this 134 here on the 25th, but since then we have a pretty bearish engulfing candle from this 34.50 region, and we've broken back down into the range, so we do expect to revisit 31.70, and we do expect to possibly break below that to go into the 30.60s in around the 30.20s. We've got dynamic levels of support and resistance. Beyond that, we're looking at 29.45. So that should wrap up the euro yen analysis. So before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.